Beyond borders. Imagining a stateless world. Imagine a world without borders. A world where lines on a map don't dictate where you belong. No passports, no visas, just open doors to every corner of our shared planet. This is the promise of a stateless future. A future where the accident of birth no longer determines opportunity or freedom. For centuries, the nation-state has defined our identities and limited our horizons. We are taught to pledge allegiance to flags and sing anthems that separate us from our fellow human beings. But what if we could transcend these artificial divisions? What if we could embrace our shared humanity and create a world where everyone is welcome? This is not a utopian dream. Throughout history, humans have organized themselves without the need for centralized states. From the indigenous tribes of North America to the nomadic cultures of the steppes, stateless societies have flourished based on principles of cooperation, community, and respect for the natural world. By looking back at these examples and reimagining our relationship with the world around us, we can begin to envision a future where borders are relics of the past and humanity is united as one global family. Echoes of the past stateless societies throughout history. The concept of a nation-state is a relatively recent invention. For most of human history, people lived in societies that were organized along different lines. Indigenous cultures around the world, for example, often had fluid concepts of territory and identity. They saw themselves as part of the land, not as owners or rulers of it. Nomadic peoples too lived beyond the boundaries of fixed states. Their movements were dictated by the seasons and the availability of resources, not by political borders. They developed sophisticated systems of governance and conflict resolution that allowed them to coexist peacefully with other groups. These examples demonstrate that statelessness is not a utopian fantasy, but a lived reality for many cultures throughout history. While these societies were not without their challenges, they offer valuable lessons about alternative ways of organizing human societies based on principles of shared responsibility, reciprocity, and respect for diversity. By studying these historical examples, we can gain insights into how humans can thrive without the need for centralized states and rigid borders. They provide a roadmap for imagining a future where our common humanity takes precedence over artificial divisions. The world without lines. Travel in a borderless future. Imagine stepping onto a train in Paris and disembarking in Tokyo without ever showing a passport. Picture yourself wandering through bustling markets in Marrakesh, or hiking the Inca Trail in Peru, free from the constraints of visas and border controls. This is the promise of travel in a borderless world, where the world becomes our shared backyard, open for exploration and discovery. Without the need for complex and often discriminatory immigration policies, people would be free to move about the planet as they please, seeking new experiences, connecting with diverse cultures, and contributing their talents where they are most needed. Imagine the richness of cultural exchange that would flourish when people from all walks of life can interact and learn from each other without barriers. Imagine the scientific and technological advancements that could be achieved when the world's brightest minds are free to collaborate across borders. In a world without borders, travel becomes more than just a leisure activity. It transforms into a powerful tool for fostering understanding, promoting peace, and driving innovation on a global scale. Shared heritage, shared responsibility, global citizenship in action. In a stateless world, our identities would transcend national boundaries. We would see ourselves as global citizens, interconnected and responsible for the well-being of our planet and all its inhabitants. This shared sense of responsibility would extend to addressing global challenges like climate change, poverty, and disease. Imagine a world where resources are shared equitably, where the needs of the many outweigh the desires of the few. Imagine a world where international cooperation is not hampered by national self-interest, but driven by a shared commitment to creating a better future for all. This shift in perspective would require a fundamental rethinking of our values and priorities. It would demand that we move beyond narrow self-interest and embrace a more expansive view of our place in the world. But the potential rewards are immense. By embracing our shared humanity and working together as global citizens, we can create a more just, equitable, and sustainable future for generations to come. Section 5. Economic harmony, trade, and cooperation in a stateless system. The absence of national borders would revolutionize the global economy. Free from the constraints of tariffs, trade wars, and protectionist policies, Goods, services, and ideas would flow freely across the globe. This open economic system would foster innovation, drive down prices, and create new opportunities for people everywhere. Imagine a world where the benefits of globalization are shared more equitably, where developing nations have equal access to global markets, and where workers around the world are protected by common labor standards. This is the potential of a stateless economic system, one that prioritizes cooperation and shared prosperity over competition and zero-sum games. Of course, such a system would require new mechanisms for regulating global trade and ensuring fairness, but the challenges are not insurmountable. By working together, we can create a global economic order that benefits everyone, not just a privileged few. Section 6. Cultural fusion, celebrating diversity on a global scale. In a world without borders, cultures would intermingle and enrich each other like never before. Imagine a world where music, art, cuisine, and traditions from every corner of the globe are shared and celebrated. Imagine a world where language barriers crumble and cross-cultural understanding becomes the norm. This vibrant tapestry of human experience would be a source of endless wonder and inspiration. It would broaden our horizons, challenge our assumptions, and deepen our appreciation for the richness and diversity of human culture. Of course, cultural exchange can sometimes lead to tension and conflict, but in a world without borders, we would have no choice but to confront these challenges head-on and find ways to coexist peacefully and respectfully. The result would be a more tolerant, compassionate, and vibrant world, one that celebrates our common humanity while cherishing our unique cultural identities. Section 7. Challenges on the path to a stateless world. The path to a stateless world is not without its obstacles. Centuries of ingrained national identities, power imbalances, and fear of the unknown present formidable challenges. Overcoming these hurdles requires addressing deeply rooted prejudices, fostering global empathy, and building trust across cultures. The legacy of colonialism, with its history of exploitation and division, continues to cast a long shadow over international relations. Addressing historical injustices and promoting equitable development are crucial steps towards creating a more just and equitable world order. Moreover, ensuring equitable access to resources, healthcare, and education for all global citizens will be paramount in dismantling the structures of inequality that underpin the current nation-state system. Transitioning to a stateless society demands a radical shift in our understanding of power, governance, and resource allocation. It necessitates developing new models of global cooperation that prioritize diplomacy, consensus building, and the peaceful resolution of conflict. Section 8. Embracing the unknown, a leap of faith towards unity. Transitioning to a stateless world requires a leap of faith. It means letting go of outdated notions of sovereignty and embracing a future where our shared humanity takes precedence over artificial divisions. It demands courage to challenge the status quo and imagine a world where cooperation trumps competition, and where empathy overrides fear. This leap of faith is not a blind surrender to utopian ideals. It is a pragmatic recognition that the challenges facing humanity in the 21st century, climate change, pandemics, global inequality, transcend national borders and demand global solutions. By embracing the unknown and working together as global citizens, we can create a future where everyone has the opportunity to thrive, regardless of where they were born or where they choose to call home. Section 9. Towards a brighter future. Hope for a world without borders. The journey towards a stateless world may be long and arduous, but the destination is well worth striving for. A world without borders is a world full of promise. A world where peace is not just an aspiration but a lived reality, where diversity is not a source of division but a catalyst for innovation, and where our shared humanity is the foundation for a brighter future. Let us dare to dream of a world without borders. Let us work together to dismantle the walls that divide us and build bridges of understanding, cooperation, and compassion. Let us create a world where our children and grandchildren can inherit a future filled with hope, opportunity, and the boundless possibilities of a truly united human family.